Hello everybody, welcome to Central London. We're with one of the UK's best up-and-coming street artists. He's been a big part of the Genesis and hashtag CF project. It is Catman. You might be wondering what's going on with the mask. Well, it's because his work is anonymous. Catman, thank you very much for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your artistic background to start with.
Well, my artistic background comes from a fine art degree, which I'd done originally in sculpture. I then moved on to model making architecture, and I used the scalpel a lot in creating the little models. Later on I got a bit bored for it and moved back to sculpture, and I found that the details that I could get with my scalpel use transferred to stencil art very well. So as soon as I started doing it, I naturally could cut quite detailed and fine pieces. So that's how I kind of got into stencil art.
And was there a point when you were growing up maybe that you thought, I'm actually pretty good at this, I could do this?
It was probably the first time I got into the World Stencil Art Prize. I got into the final. That was when at that point I thought, okay, I'm not bad at it.
And we've got your piece here as well. What was the inspiration behind this?
This is to do with the hashtag CF project. It's basically just outlining that there's a limitless kind of a project with no boundaries or borders, that it can just go anywhere. That's where the vanishing point starts back there. You can't really see a start and a finish to it because it's not bound by the same regulations that other projects can be bound by. It can just kind of go anywhere. That's what I was trying to encapsulate with this.
And how did you find out about the hashtag CF project, and what are your thoughts on it?
It was when we got approached when we at the gallery, and the guys came and approached us, wanted to work with some up-and-coming artists, and that's when we started chatting to them. They came across and described what they were trying to do, and it just sounded like an exciting and interesting project. And I like the fact that you're given an option and a choice of where and what to do with certain options. You feel like more involved in the actual concept and everything.
And if somebody's watching this, for the first time, this is the first time they've seen you, would you say that, this piece really encapsulates what you're about as an artist?
Yeah, I'd say that this stencil in here is, I think there's 5 layers in the blues, there's probably about another 5 layers there. So it's quite a highly detailed piece. Each colour has a different layer to it, and each stencil, so you kind of build it up. It's all to do with the cutting. The spraying bit can take, a couple of hours, but the cutting can take days.
Fantastic amount of work that goes into it then.
Yeah, it's long and tiring sitting at the desk. It's not all glamour and spraying walls. A lot of the times just in a studio, day after day, hour after hour, cutting stencils.
That's the thing, because when people often see, particularly street art, they think, it's only probably taken him, 10 minutes, he's had a whip round and he's done it all. But actually, you could be there for hours and hours and, as you say, days on end.
Yeah, exactly. With stencil art, that's more the case. Other artists that can just, throw up massive pieces on walls, they can move a lot faster. But to get this kind of art is it's time consuming, yeah.
And if somebody wants to find out a little bit more about you and where you're from and what you're up to these days, what can they do?
You can find me on social media, on Instagram, hashtag, it's Catman_artist, and on Facebook it's Catman _artist.
And looking ahead, have you got any sort of collaborations coming up, or have you done anything previously in the past that you want to show off?
I have a solo show with the Graphic Gallery at the start of next year, so now I'm starting to speak to other artists and come together and do a couple of collaborations for that exhibition.
I've got one more question for you. It's a little bit different. If you were on a desert island, what album would you be taking with you?
It would have to be Life After Death, Biggie.
And any particular reason?
It's a big album, to be honest. When it got released, it's double CD, so you can tell how many songs are on it. I just think it's his best works on it.
And was that album, or was his work inspiration behind some of your art?
I do listen to music when I'm creating stencils, so yeah, that does get played a lot.
Brilliant. Well, Catman, thank you very much. Make sure you check him out in the galleries and also on the social media as well.